We're very happy to have our next guest join us here in San Francisco. It is Kimbra.
Hi.
Welcome back to our fair city.
Thank you very much.
It's been quite a while.
It has, too long. I love San Fran.
Especially the proximity to LA, where you used to live.
Yeah, that's right.
Did you come to visit much at all or anything? Or?
Yeah, I actually spent a bit of time out here writing for my second album, The Golden Echo. I worked with Dan the Automator and stayed in the Mission and got to know the city really well, so I have fond memories.
What did you do in the Mission? Particularly, was it just
Mexican food? That's always my jam when I come here. Just get the best burritos and a bunch of vintage shopping as well. It's got great shopping.
So you just moved to New York, like you just said,
yeah,
right?
2.5 years though. It's kind of gone by fast.
It seems like yesterday you were just like in LA, and I feel like that, that's what I associate you with.
Yeah.
What were some of the catalysts to New York, to move to New York versus other big cities?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of always dreamed of living there. Even when I was young, when I would visit on tour, I'd be like, oh, there's a vitality here. Something kind of jumps to life inside me. So I felt like I wanted to explore that and see what that would bring out of me creatively. And I think, the accessibility of the city, I know it's like the cliche, but like being able to jump on the subway and interact with people that are from so many different cultures. And I think that really, that's really what I was craving at that time of my life, being immersed in this diversity.
Yeah.
Of course, LA has that as well. I just find that people can be a little more in their bubbles because of the car culture, right? So you live so much in these kind of neighborhoods, whereas New York is kind of like jammed all together, and there's something quite exciting about that. And being informed by the spirit of the city right outside my window, so things like that start to inspire the sort of songs you want to write. I was participating in my first ever marches and protests in the city, and all of this feels very close to your home, and so, being my apartment, and so I think an urgency and even a sense of protest started to come out of some of my music. I wanted to write with a bolder voice, and I think that's been impacted by my life in New York.
San Francisco, how you doing? We're playing evenings tonight. This song is called The Good One.
You released 2 tracks so far from the new album.
3 now, actually.
3,
yeah.
Right? Yeah. So first, the new album called Primal Heart.
Yeah.
And Top of the World, everybody knows, right? Are the 2 that the people were introduced and have had for a little while.
Yeah.
Right. Very tribal-esque, very raw. Was there a particular moment that inspired?
Well, it's hard not to make comment on things that are going on when you're living in America. It's hard not to let it inform your sense of purpose as well. As an artist, you have a platform, you're speaking to people, and like I said, doing my first Black Lives Matter march, or kind of going to a protest around maybe women's rights and things, it starts to feel like you can't really ignore these things, and you can't continue to write only about escapism. I think I've always touched on social culture, and many of my songs have done that, but always from a metaphoric place a lot of the time, but kind of removed, speaking to it from a space of surrealism. But living in New York has kind of grounded me to the reality of things a bit more, and I wanted to bring that out at the performance as well, and speak a little more directly to things that I was not only observing, but really right in the midst of, and having friends that were directly affected by this stuff, so you stop thinking, oh, I'm a New Zealander living in America, it's not my place to say, and you start saying, I'm a human being, it is my place to say. We are all connected, we're all, it's important we all find our voice and use it.
I think every city has that personality, pockets of people that come together and stand up for those things. Obviously, the Bay Area, San Francisco, Berkeley, known for that, but I think New York is one of those places where they pull no punches. And when they don't like anything or they want to speak up, I think that is fantastic that it has inspired you.
Yeah,
right?
And that same energy, it translates across the music scene. So improvised jams, spontaneous nightclubs just bursting into live jazz. And this kind of atmosphere is really exciting for an artist like myself who thrives on improvisation, and just being like, yo, let's go jam, like pull a bass player together and just roll down somewhere. So yeah, I think that's an important thing in big cities, is to maintain that sense of like not only protesting when bad things happen, but like protesting for, you know, music to be something that keeps getting pushed on the streets and like in, you know, in the clubs. So.
Right. You have a lot of dates throughout the rest of the year, and you're doing a show here in San Francisco. How much of it is going to be new versus the familiar?
There's actually a lot of new music in this show that I'm doing around the country. It's just been really fun to play the new music, and you know, I'm kind of hoping that people are like into that. It seems like everyone's really excited to hear new stuff, and of course we play some of the older songs, but we're trying to reinterpret them into this new evolution, I guess, a running theme in our conversation, but this new stage that I'm at. And yeah, I'm just a big believer that the audience will connect with the performance when they see that the artist is inspired, right?
Yeah.
So I really try to give from the deepest part of who I am, and right now that just means playing as much new music as possible.
Right. That's awesome to hear, because there's some artists that are like, oh, they want to wait and don't record me and all those things, right? So, well, we're really looking forward to this show tonight.
Thank you. Awesome.
And best of luck for the rest of the year, and can't wait for the album to come out.
Too. Thank you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, awesome.
It is Kimbra, Primal Heart, coming out in April. You're watching B-Sides on Air.